KATC Weather Lab. Here's Rob's forecast.
Welcome back and welcome to the weekend. We've all earned it, a weekend with some sunshine, but also some scattered afternoon storms. If you like today's weather, you're going to like this weekend's weather. It starts off mostly sunny, gets hot, and then scattered afternoon storms, and then they diminish during the evening hours, and it'll be a repeat and rinse over the next several days. So let's take a look at the satellite imagery this evening and a relatively fair skies across the area. Hopefully you got to see that crescent moon as it was setting in the west today. Looked really cool. Now we have a little bit of an interesting pattern going on. Notice you can see the showers and storms today. They were most numerous off to the east and to the west of us, associated with two features that were kind of in between, and which makes also for kind of a difficult forecast as well. So as we switch it over to the water vapor channel, here's a high pressure ridge here by the Texas Panhandle and an upper level low over here by the Florida Panhandle, enhancing storms here, and also some of the storms with that deep tropical draw across portions of Cuba, Florida, the Bahamas as well. And we're in this northeasterly flow aloft, and whenever you see that in the summertime, you can almost guarantee about a 40 to 50% chance of storms, and some of which could get strong and come late in the afternoon, but we're not expecting any severe weather, so we're kind of in between. Got a little bit of this weakness aloft. You see some dry air in there as well, but the bottom line, we'll see partly sunny skies and then afternoon storms, and then things quieting down by this time. And that's what we saw today. Here's a 12-hour loop of the shower and thunderstorm activity. Prime areas, eastern Louisiana, I-10 parishes on southward, and I think that's the way it's going to play again for tomorrow. So rain chances 40% we're saying in general, but it's going to be closer to 20, 30 up to the north, and probably 40, 50, 60% perhaps to the south, and especially to the east. And on the radar, just a few isolated showers showing up offshore out here in the Gulf of Mexico, and that's about it. As for the tropics, we're calling it a fading disturbance, but it's trying to make a comeback on the satellite imagery. This system's been up and down, but mostly down over the last 24 hours. So the Hurricane Center, since yesterday, this should be updated for 7 o'clock, by the way, now at 40% chance of development. But notice the storms have flared up a little bit, so we might see this number go up. There's a very small window for development prior to this getting closer to the Leeward Islands, but upper level winds are not really favorable for development beyond this point, so not going to be a major system or an impact to the U.S. for that matter. Lots of inclement weather across portions of the East Coast as we go along the East Coast. Lots of showers and storms, but nothing organized here. But tides have been above normal from Florida all the way up through the Carolinas, associated with that area of disturbed weather. And then back to the west, Flossie and Eric, both tropical storms, both continue to weaken. Flossie is going to go probably just north of the Hawaiian Islands by early next week. Meanwhile, Eric bypassing the islands this evening to the south. Tropical storm warning still in effect for the coastal waters of the Big Island, but that's about it. No major issues, and that system continues to diminish. So as we look at the moisture pattern, I'll draw your attention. One, here's that tropical wave that approaches the eastern Caribbean in a couple of days. And then notice right here, we have basically what's called a little bit of a trough or a frontal trough, upper level winds coming here and then going like this. That's why we're not concerned that this would be ever a threat to the Gulf of Mexico. So everything turns out to sea. And notice this trough of low pressure and increased moisture is a persistent feature through the end of next week and continues even beyond that as we go into the following weekend. Tough forecast for us. It looks like high pressure is trying to ridge in. So I'm going with the European model and making it hotter and a little bit drier. But notice much enhanced rain chances, Mississippi, Alabama, and more than likely Florida toward the end of next week. So the latter part of the 10-day forecast, still a little iffy, but it still looks like a typical summer-like forecast any way you slice it. So quiet overnight tonight, few spotty showers along the coast in the morning. Then by lunchtime, we'll start to see those showers building inland during the course of the afternoon. And you can see most of the activity along the I-10 corridor for the most part, southeast Louisiana, and then quieting down tomorrow night. And we'll do it all over again on Sunday. Temperature-wise, low to mid-70s tonight. That's not far from where we are right now, so high humidity, maybe some patchy dicey fog in the mix by daybreak. Then tomorrow, upper 80s to lower 90s. That heat index pushing into the upper 90s once again. So still not too bad, though, for the first week of August. And temperatures low to mid 70s tomorrow night into Sunday morning and Sunday afternoon. The model suggesting maybe a little bit better coverage on showers and storms, but we're going to keep it at 40% during the entire weekend. So a quiet night ahead, nearly steady temperatures, that usual high humidity, 73 the low, or maybe 72 or 1 for Lafayette. Standard August forecast, hot and humid, scattered afternoon storms. You know the drill. It's that time of year. 40% on your rain chances, a little bit higher. I-10 on southward, very light and variable winds, and it's been quite calm offshore as well. Go for it if you're planning a fishing trip out there. The waters have been calm. Just look out for the scattered storms. Temperatures stay in the lower 90s. Rain chances in the 30 to 40% range for the next week, and then perhaps dropping down a little bit as we go into the following weekend. Temperatures, though, the models continue to suggest a warming trend or a heating trend. Our temperatures there through Thursday are actually a little bit below normal for highs, near normal for lows, but getting back to near or maybe even slightly above normal, but that's the way it goes in the summertime.
All righty. Thank you, Rob.